but I pretty much just need one copy of her. Okay, I'm gonna get Midori. 4-star focus is really not working in my... Okay, I'm gonna get Metal D. I didn't really have her on this account, honestly. I did have her on the free-to-play account. Oh, great. Minus attack. There goes the minus attack curse. Yet again. I think that's one of my favorite supports from Awakening. And I'm gonna get Ascended Ishtar. Alright. So I didn't have her on this account either. So yeah, that is gonna be a Floret for Claude. This one is also minus attack. Okay. And okay, I'm gonna get Tsubasa. I'm gonna get Yarny here. I'm gonna get Deke. Wow. 3 5-star units in a badge. I'll just free summon my Edelgard here. And Sparker. So that's Redstones out of the way. I don't really have to summon on the Redstones anymore. Summer Claude seems to be not showing up at all. I see Brave Veronica showing up though. So that is nice. Oh, I'm gonna get PL. Yeah, she definitely needs some kind of good exclusive weapon because she's a 5-star locked unit. I may be ahead of myself here when I say that because I haven't even gotten one Claude. And I'm finally gonna get him. Let's go. So that is my first Summer Claude. Just gonna be sniping here for Summer Claude as I get another one. Okay, so maybe this is the time where I can just get a lot of him and merge him up. Maybe Miriel or Karen. Oh, Arenas. And I'm hoping that this badge is full of blue stones. Never mind. The opposite happened. There's one blue stone. Another Summer Claude, so that's a bonus. The next question is asking me, glad to see Lady Luck has been nice to you recently. As you say that, I'm gonna get Summer Claude again. But the silhouette was honestly not a challenge this time. Everybody knew that this was going to be Claude and Micaiah. Another Summer Claude, so let's go. That's, I think, the 5th Claude. Another Summer Claude, let's go. So I think I have decent amount here to get at least like mid-merge on him. And this is a plus speed one. I'm going to try for Muspel actually. I'm going to get Lysithea. Okay. I will go for the Redstone, hoping for Chrom. Oh, I'm going to get Lucina. Let's go. If not father, then the daughter. Okay, Brave Lucina. I definitely got a lot of 5-star units in this session. Ascended Florina can struggle with the far save units. Okay, I'm gonna get Julia. That's definitely after quite a while. I'll try for that. Asbel, okay. It took them quite a bit of time from Legendary Ryoma to add Xander. Okay, I'm gonna get Freya. So that is gonna be my first focus summon here. Time you've used a unit. That all could be really oh my god, Freya again. The Lady of Nightmare. I'm trying to get the other green units. Minus attack as well. Okay. I mean, Faye is my first gacha game, I guess. I didn't play any kind of gacha game before this. Yeah, baby's first gacha. And Xander's gonna be showing up. Alright, let's go. That's amazing. So I'm just gonna try my luck for Xander. But not really spend like that many orbs here for Xander. And oh my god, I'm gonna get Xander on my free-to-play account as well. I'm glad I tried. I'm glad I tried. So with this weapon refine, he's able to get plus 10 attack and speed in combat, and now his true damage is no longer capped at plus 7, so he gets Flashing Blade 3, and this is huge because he doesn't have to run Heavy Blade any longer. And then finally, if he has got 6 or more speed than the opponent, he's gonna be able to get partial null follow up. And flying units cannot have access to Flashing Blade, and beast units cannot have access to flow skills. And the fact that he's got these two skills in his weapon refine makes him really awesome as a free-to-play unit, and can function much better as a Gale Force unit and also as a support unit. So this weapon still gives the -2 special cooldown to herself and the support partner, and because this uses the ally support mechanic, it is not going to be active in the hands of the AI. It also gives her plus an attack and speed during the combat, and now with her beast transformation, she can also get the tempo effect like the other infantry beast units. She can give herself and that support partner plus 6 attack and speed buff, and also the dull all status effect. So in my opinion, Veluria is also one of the winners of this batch along with Nisala. Picnic Flora gets a solid weapon refine that makes her into a good far save tank, and now she can get +8 to all of her stats in combat, and she can get in combat debuff on foes' attack speed and defense based on 80% difference between the visible resistance of Flora and the opponent. And if she's got one more resistance than the opponent, then she can get 30% damage reduction on their first attack. And if she's got 7 or more resistance than them, then she's going to be able to get the follow-up negation. And she's going to be bulky enough to tank a lot of the threats even in the modern times, as this weapon definitely brings her up to the speed, and the stat swing that she can get is definitely going to be pretty fun. So now with this weapon refine, he's able to get +8 to all of his stats, and he still has the support effect where he can give +4 defense and attack to his allies, but the space range is now extended to 3 spaces. And then the refined part has got the partial null follow-up, the offensive version, same as Nisala. And then finally, the best part of this weapon refine is the fact that he can get true damage based on the number of allies present within 3 spaces of him. With this weapon refine, he's able to inflict -5 attack and defense debuff on the foe during the combat, and he also gets a guaranteed follow-up attack. So this is pretty much the best thing about the weapon refine, as he can be free from quicker post, and this guaranteed follow-up attack also lets him function a bit better in the player phase. This weapon refine does help him tank a bit better in the enemy phase and also gives him a player phase, so that is pretty much Fallen Berkut. He unfortunately doesn't get a huge change or a huge upgrade. He's going to be functioning a bit better, but that's pretty much it, and he still has issues. So this was actually a pretty nice weapon when he got the weapon refine back in 2019, and he was actually a meta unit in Aether8's offense when Vantage was still used a lot. But as time went on, we got a lot bulkier units, so it got really hard for him to Vantage, and then we got damage reduction, we got save skills, and he just fell out really hard. So that's why Matthew right now is just a unit that you'll invest into if you're a big fan of him. Outside of that, there's not a big incentive to invest into him.
Okay, let's go.
And she's actually a pretty fun and unique unit because of the teleportation shenanigans that she can do with her weapon. So she's got new height bow, which gives her -1 special cooldown, and if she's below 60% HP, then any kind of ally can teleport near her. And then she can also provide the teleportation support similar to Ashe and her opening retainer. And then finally, she can get +6 attack and speed in combat, and also deals true damage based on 15% of her speed. Overall, Florina is not the most insane unit, but she's still pretty unique. And we have got Sane here, who's actually a pretty nice unit from this banner, surprisingly. Despite being a Lance Cavalier, being such a saturated class, he is able to stand out because of his unique weapon in Jolly Jade Lance. And if he uses any kind of rally assist skill, then he can get the visible buffs of +6 attack and speed to himself, and he gets another action. So Sane is definitely a pretty fun unit to use because of this effect, and honestly I didn't expect this kind of unique effect on him, and he's a fan favorite, so I'm really glad that they did something unique with him. Sadly, unlike Sane, Kent is not really all that unique. He is a Sword Cavalier who's the 4-star demote of this banner, and he doesn't really have a preferred weapon. He does bring his allied sword, which is just the sword version of allied lance, which we saw on Karen, and this just has joint drive attack and joint drive defense built into it, so it's a pretty nice support weapon. And he does bring the snack skill in the summon pool as well in speed defense snack, which is available at 4-star. And his offensive stat spread is pretty decent with base 37 attack and base 40 speed. So you can build him up if you really like him, but it is going to be a bit hard to stand out compared to Resplendent Eliwood and the insane Blazing Durandal weapon refine that he has got. And then we've got Letizia. So she's not a mythic unit or a legendary unit, and she is here as a green mage cavalier. So her weapon has got a lot of text, so that's why I've broken it down here. And she is going to be functioning similar to Duolith as a bulky cavalier who also has auto follow-up. And then she can inflict even more debuffs to all stats of the opponents depending on the conditions that she can meet. So she can overall get like -15 attack debuff on the opponent during the combat, and that can make her really bulky. So we can see that he has got Vulture Blade Plus, which is the, the sword version of Pelagian Axe basically. So it's a Pelagian weapon. It does have good synergy with attack, defense, menace, and all sorts of debuffs on attack and defense of the opponent. His stats are interesting because he has got very high base speed at 43. This weapon has a really simple condition. If they're within 3 spaces of an ally, then they can inflict -8 attack and resistance debuff on the opponent during the combat, and they also get follow-up negation. And finally, they can get extra attack in combat depending on the highest total bonuses of attack and resistance of the ally within 3 spaces. Overall, Limstella is a unique and solid free-to-play mage with their stat spread and also their preferred weapon, which even though has a drawback, still has got a lot of stacked effects and can definitely make them into a pretty good unit, especially at high investment. So this time around, she is a sword armor with 190 BST, and she has got Regal Sunshade as her preferred weapon. This is a 16 might weapon which gives her -1 special cooldown, and at start of combat, if she's at or above 25% HP, then she can get +6 attack during the combat and inflict -6 attack debuff on the foe during the combat. She can also get 40% damage reduction from foe's first attack, and then the final effect makes her into a very powerful unit. So she gets a dual phase brave effect if there are X or more foes in 3 columns or 3 rows centered on Edelgard. So this allows Edelgard to be quite versatile and be quite bulky and also hit really hard, especially because of this dual phase brave weapon. She pretty much becomes the best player phase armor unit because of having Raging Storm along with a strong weapon like this. She also has a new skill in Assault Troop 3, and this is going to be an inheritable skill, and at start of turn, if the unit is at full HP, or if any foe is within 3 columns or 3 rows centered on the unit, then the unit can get charged status effect for 1 turn. And this charge status can basically allow the unit to move 3 spaces in any cardinal direction, and with her harmonized skill, she can provide +6 visible attack buff to herself and her allies, the bonus doubler status, and also resonance shields effect. So he's a 172 BST blue dagger flyer with Frozen Delight as his preferred weapon. This does have the Fortress skill built into it, so it does provide him with the Kanto remaining movement. And if he's within 2 spaces of an ally, or if he initiates combat, then he can get +6 attack and speed in the combat, and he can get the player phase brave effect if the total bonuses on him and the total penalties on the opponent is equal to 12 or more. So the Fallen Star effect can pretty much give you the 80% damage reduction, so this can give him better survivability even though he's mainly a player phase focus unit, and he's going to be relying on his player phase brave effect to really nuke hard. Summer Dimitri is an Axe Cavalier this time, and he has got Unyielding Ore as his preferred weapon. So this does have Neotrace built into it. This weapon does give him -1 special cooldown, and if he's at or above 25% HP, then he can get +5 to all of his stats, and he can also get the dual phase brave effect if any kind of bonus is active on the foe, or if he has got 10 or more speed than the opponent. So Summer Dimitri pretty much combines some of the best aspects of Fallen Dimitri and Legendary Dimitri. He has got the Atrocity of Legendary Dimitri, and he has got the Kanto of Fallen Dimitri. Summer Micaiah is a colorless mage cavalier this time with Moonlight Drop as her preferred weapon. It of course has the trademark effective damage against armored and cavalry units, and she does get -1 special cooldown, and if she initiates combat or if she's within 2 spaces of an ally, then she can get +6 attack and resistance in combat, and then she has got an in-combat resistance check, and depending on the extra resistance that she has got compared to the opponent, she can get 2 different effects. But keep in mind that a lot of the far safe tanks which are good in this game can easily reach about like 50 to 60 resistance. So against them, the bulkiest tanks, Micaiah is going to be struggling to get the player phase brave effect. So Prescience does help from Legendary Micaiah for giving her the attack and resistance debuff on the opponent. It certainly helps with the resistance check in her weapon, and it does provide her with the 30% damage reduction as well. She doesn't really have a preferred weapon or a preferred skill like the rest of the Summer Banner, but this weapon is honestly pretty good with her stat spread. So this weapon is a 12 might conditional brave bow, and this can provide you +5 attack and speed in combat, and also the Brave effect in the player phase if you've got 10 or more speed than the opponent. Overall, Summer Lincia is a pretty nice free-to-play unit who is unique because of her class, and she does have good offenses for a free-to-play unit and for using Whitecap Bow effectively, so she can be a pretty nice merge project option, especially with her amazing art. So Legendary Xander's Ebon Bulwark gives him -1 special cooldown, which is really great with this kind of weapon, and at start of turn, if he's within 2 spaces of 2 or more allies, then he can get null follow-up and special acceleration per attack for 1 turn. So he can be really bulky with that damage reduction and the healing that he can get, and it does give him more longevity, which is really good. And then he has got his personal skill from Fates as his exclusive slot B skill in Chivalry. So this does have Neotrace built into it, which means that it is not a flat canto like of Legendary Ephraim or Regan. And at start of combat, if foe's HP is above half, then he can inflict -5 attack speed and defense debuff on the foe during the combat, and then he can also have damage reduction based on the HP of the foe at start of the combat. So overall, Legendary Xander's main role is going to be of a mixed phase Axe Cavalier, and this year we definitely have got a lot of Axe Cavaliers like Fallen Gustav, Groom Roy, and then recently Summer Dimitri, who's insane with that atrocity and dual phase brave weapon, and now Xander, who fills a different niche compared to them. So we are going to be starting off the same way by taking out this blue mage here who has got Canto Control. That is extremely important if you want to have any kind of freedom with Regan on this map. Yeah, Canto Control is honestly really annoying for these kinds of PvE maps. Yeah, so we can go ahead and just take out this Axe Dragon over here. And then we can dance up here and just finish this job. And we can just have Ashe like this so that we can take out the Sword Fighter after he gets healed up. This Archer here, so we can just have Ashe like this so that we can teleport with Regan. And that is going to be really helpful because we can go like this and just take out the Red Cavalier, who does have that Serpent Tome. And then we can just teleport over here with our ear. And then we can just bait out this Lance Cavalier over here, who does have Honed Cavalry, which is going to be annoying with Xander. So Ashe can transform the next turn as well, and she can take out this Lance Cavalier. This Cleric is going to be attacking our Peony, and that is going to be creating a choke point, which is going to be really amazing. We can just take out this Green Flyer finally. And now we can take out this Troubadour.
Truly?
And pretty much take out Xander in few turns ahead. So now we can go ahead and attack the Xander by using our ear over here. And we can just get some healing and also some debuffs on him, so that is going to be pretty helpful. And then just have Regan go like this and attack Xander. And Xander is going to be in the range where we can take him out with Ashe. Cow taking out the King of Nor. And now we just have this Melancholy Cleric. And that is going to be it for the Big Bad Abyssal. Just Air's Refine and 1 Secret Seal on Regan. And that's all you need.
Who's next?
So I can just set up now with Ardent Sacrifice. The Reist weapon of Bernie can do that 1 damage, and that can enable you to use your Ardent Sacrifice and just guaranteed enter into the Wings of Mercy range. And that is just really fantastic. So we can do that. And then do this. And now we're in the Wings of Mercy range. So what I could do is pretty much go over here with Thor and then have Bernie smite. So I can be on the Gravity Trap, which is a real one. So yeah, Dancer getting danced here. We know that this is a fake trap. So I can just do that and get it. Have Dorothea dance up. I can go ahead and take out this Lysithea. Get the Gale Force off pretty easily. And now I can take out this Yune, and by doing that, I'm going to be able to teleport with Seliph, take out their final duo unit, and now their duo hindrance doesn't work. And I can use my Harmonize skill, which does hit the highest HP unit. So I can just refresh Seliph, and instead of attacking, I'm just going to be body blocking the Sarah.
Queens of the seas, do not doubt it. I'll face it head on. Let's swim.
So yeah, I can vantage this team because there's no Hardy Bearing here. And go like this.
What's next?
And who's the remaining units? So yeah, no Holy Knight Aura is going to be happening here. You can just end turn. I have avoided the range of Sigurd. Their Dancer is the first one to go. And yeah, everyone is going to be going down except for Note. Got both of the pots and now I can kill Hector for my another bonus kill. And that is going to be the end of the Chaos season here.
What's the plan?